Hey everybody, welcome back to Arena Hacks. My name is Kyle Wagner. Today I am going to be showing you a really cool budget deck just based around +1/+1 counters. So everything's about growing, getting these little creatures out and then just growing them really big, really fast. So I got lots of cool stuff in here to help do that. And I made sure to keep it budget friendly. There are non-budget friendly versions of this deck running around out there. You'll find they have Felidar Retreats, definitely the Luminarch Aspirant here that we have, but they'll also have things like, I don't know, maybe they'll go Life Gain and go Heliod or something like that, but they have a lot of these rares that will just kind of automatically give you counters. The Felidar Retreat is good because it gives +1/+1 counters to everybody when you drop a land, and it gives them vigilance until end of turn. So it's a very, very powerful card if you're getting your land drops. And it all works around the +1/+1 counter theme. But in this deck, besides the only non-land rare we have is Luminarch Aspirant. Just because her ability is just off the hook for a +1/+1 counter deck. Like seriously, just a free counter, passive counter every turn. You just play it, you get a 1/1 creature for 2 mana, which is not that great value for 2 mana, but that 2 mana is also getting you, as long as that creature is alive, every combat you get a +1/+1 counter on something for free. Just do it every turn, every combat. Really nice. So what I tried to stick to in this deck is to keep those passive counters coming. There's a lot of things that you do play that it's kind of like you're just putting counters on something, like Feat of Resistance up here. Feat of Resistance, you do get a +1/+1 counter on a creature, which is why it's in this deck, because +1/+1 counters, right? It fits with the synergy. But the ability to give your creature protection just is so dirty sometimes. Your opponent has their removal, they're feeling safe and comfortable because they're just going to blow up your creature, your Luminarch Aspirant, because they're so awesome and you're kicking your opponent's butt with it, right? So they're like, all right, I'm going to blow it up. They go to blow it up, you save your 2 mana, and all of a sudden you slam down a Feat of Resistance, and they're just like, oh, so my spell does nothing? Oh. Darn. If their spell is green, or if their spell is like, let's say, green and white, you can give your creature from protection from green or protection from white. Doesn't matter, it will protect from this. Even this enchantment at the last step here, you see exile a creature with power, or with the greatest power among creatures target opponent controls. I keep making that mistake. I keep thinking it's mana cost, that the highest mana cost is going to go, but it's the highest power that goes, not the highest mana cost. So I keep making that mistake with this, and it kind of, it ruins my plans in the games a few times, but that's not bad. And then again, more +1/+1 counters. So you got like this. I love this card. It's really nice. And in a deck like this, it's not that powerful in other decks, but a deck that you want those 1/1 counters, it's really powerful. If you have a Conclave Mentor right here, this is also a big thing in +1. Even the non-budget decks that use +1 will use this, because that's just a stupid powerful ability. Every time you put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, or what does it say? You would put on a creature you control, put that many +1 counters put that many +1/+1 counter put on that creature instead. So that makes it. And a lot of the things in here is just one +1/+1 counter at a time. So technically what that's doing is doubling your 1/1 counter. Now if you're adding 5 counters on something in one spell in one instant, then it'll only give you 6 counters. It'll only increase it by 1. If you read the card, it's just +1. But if you're doing all these little +1s here, +1s there, +1s there, those are +2s every time. That's doubling your +1/+1 counters. So again, this guy's super powerful, super good, and when it dies, if you build it up and make it nice and powerful, when it dies, you gain life equal to its power, right? So that's pretty sweet there too. So it gives you a little gift if your opponent finds a way to blow it up. So I've been all over this deck so far. Luminarch, Feat of Resistance, Nessian Hornbeetle, like I said, just those passive +1/+1 triggers. Beginning of every combat, just like the Luminarch, except you have to have a creature, another creature, not the Nessian Hornbeetle. It has to be another creature. It can be another Nessian Hornbeetle, but the power has to be 4 or greater. Now, the Nessian, it has to be another creature if you read the card, so it can't be the same Nessian Hornbeetle. It has to be a different Nessian Hornbeetle that has power 4 or greater. And then every combat, they give themselves a +1/+1 counter, 2 +1/+1 counters if you have the Conclave Mentor out. It was sad. We didn't really see this guy too much in gameplay. When I was testing this deck earlier, I saw him pop up a little bit more, and it was just stupid powerful. But yeah, anyways, so ram through, that's a bit of removal there. Usually I like to go with 3 sets of 4 copies of removal. Right, so I already mentioned Fall of the Impostor, that's removal there, and then ram through, that's some more removal there, so that's 2 different removals at 4 copies each. This is what I replaced with the third one that I normally like to do in my decks. I took out a set of removal and put in a set of Feat of Resistance, just because of everything I explained when I went over the card, the +1/+1 counter, protection. It kind of ruins your opponent's removal spells, right? So when they try to blow up something you really like, you know, you whip this out real quick and sorry, try again later. I might not have one. There's only 4 in the deck, so yeah, so that's where all the removal is. So the rest will all be creatures. After Conclave Mentor, we have Boreal Outrider, one of the new cards, as well as Fall of the Impostor from Kaldheim. This is why most of the lands are snow lands, because whenever you cast a creature, if you use a snow land to pay any of its colored cost, it comes into the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it just for free. Again, it's passive because almost all of the lands are snow. We can do that super easily. So it's like every creature we play, we're using snow mana to cast its spell. So once we get the Boreal Outrider out, every creature is coming into play with a 1/1 counter on it. Unless our opponent blows up our Boreal Outrider and we don't have a Feat of Resistance to protect it, yada yada yada. It happens. It happens. But yeah, that's the Boreal Outrider. Really powerful, non-human, because we do have some mutators here, which is why the non-human is important. We do have some humans in here. They are the Luminarch Aspirant. They are the only 4 humans we have in the entire deck. Right here, 4, and humans right in there. So 4 humans, Luminarch Aspirant. It's kind of frustrating how often the only creature we can mutate on is the Luminarch Aspirant, which is a human and can't be mutated anyways. So it's like, but yeah, giving that flying is really annoying for our opponent. If our opponent is hurting us with flying, we can give our stuff flying too and defend ourselves, attack in with the flying. Yeah, the flying really comes in handy, and you know, you got that +1/+1 counter whenever this thing mutates, so it's like right there. 2 +1/+1 counters if you have the Conclave Mentor right here. So it's just like more synergy, more synergy, more synergy. Everything's combining together. Everything's passive. The Vulpikeet's not really passive. You play it, you get your 1/1 counter for playing it. Same with the first trigger of Fall of the Impostor. You're playing it and you're getting your 1/1 counter right away. And that's what your 3 mana is for. Everything after that's passive, though. At Vulpikeet, it's not really passive after that, but if you put it on a Nessian Hornbeetle or a Conclave Mentor or Boreal Outrider, it could be passive after that. Because those guys all have passive abilities. Or if you have a Luminarch Aspirant on the battlefield, that's a passive 1/1 counter that you can put on your Vulpikeet or any creature you want. Right, very powerful, very powerful. Wildwood Scourge, more passive +1/+1 counters, plus non-passive. When you play this guy, you pick X, and X is the amount of 1/1 counters he enters on the battlefield with. It'll actually be X plus that green if you have 1 Conclave Mentor, right? Or if you have a Boreal Outrider too, because he'll come into play. You could pay 0 for X, pay 1 green, and he'll be a 1/1. He'll come into play with a 1/1 counter on it with the Boreal Outrider. So, so yeah, you're kind of getting non-passive +1/+1 counters that way by playing it and getting 1/1 counters on them. And then whenever you put a 1/1 counter on a creature that's not a Hydra that you control, which everything in here is non-Hydra except for Wildwood Scourge, and if you mutate a Vulpikeet over top of a Wildwood Scourge, that Wildwood Scourge is no longer a Hydra, and if you have another Wildwood Scourge, it will get pumped up from your other Wildwood Scourge because it's not a Hydra anymore. So that can get out of control and is pretty fun. Snowlands here, like I mentioned, all the basic ones, then some to balance our green and white, Arctic Treeline, Shimmerdrift Vales, and then the Branchloft Pathways. Those are just because I wanted eight cards to help balance the mana. Sometimes I still find, like I have a full set of these, so if I wasn't trying to make this like really And as you can tell, I don't know if you've seen many other budget decks from other people, but like I remember for the longest time, like budget decks, I hear people be like, oh yeah, there's only like 13 or 14 rares in here. It's a budget deck. And I'm just like, I don't know. I consider a budget deck like only like just like a handful of rares, like 4 to 8 rares. Try to keep it less out of the double digits, basically, and then you've got a really budget deck. But it gets a lot harder to build an effective deck that way. But anyway, so that's why I kept the Branchloft Pathways down. Normally I'd keep the Shimmerdrift Vales in here, increase this by 2, and then take these down 1 each, and then there we go. So we've got lots of ways of mixed colored mana. Still only have 6 tapped lands, and yeah, stuff like that. So the reason I include them in here is because we are only at 6 total rares in the entire deck, 0 mythics. Everything else is mostly uncommon, because in order to make the deck powerful, we got to use good cards, and a lot of them do seem to be uncommon. We got a common here. I said that one already. Common here, and then lands. So that's the deck. I hope you enjoyed the hope you enjoyed the gameplay, and we'll get back to you later. Okay. Alright, I kind of like it. I see lots of creatures, a mutator, a 2-drop, so some removal here, and some protection here, so it's kind of got a little bit of everything in it. Can't complain too much. Except I'm not on the play, which really sucks. So he's going to get to do a free thing here. He's going to get his little 1/1 token, because I can't play anything yet. And then next turn I have to go Luminarch. So he gets his token. He'll probably attack again and create another token. This is all I can play. I better get a land this turn too. I'm pretty sure if I don't get a land this next turn, game's over. So he's attacking in. I wonder if he's got a cantrip. He might. It's only 1 extra damage. We'll take it. I was considering blocking his token. But he probably has a trick. Well, he'll pump it up and kill my Aspirant, which would be very bad for us. And no, we need to keep some blockers. I have no idea what I'm going to do next turn. I'm kind of screwed. So he swings in with that. I bet he has some kind of trick. One more turn, no blocks. You can create... Well, he could have created his token either way. You create your token. Like, he might not have tricks either. He might just be seeing how long he can create these little tokens. But at a certain point in the game, these tokens, as long as he doesn't have too many of them, they actually won't really matter to me. I won't really care. Okay, so let's put the counter from the Luminarch on the Boreal Outrider. We'll swing in, use Ram Through, and then I can hold up Feat of Resistance to block him next turn, and then keep my guy alive. But I'm not going to attack with both. I changed my mind. I'm going to go Boreal Outrider, and then I'm going to go... This guy's got more damage, so let's attack with him. So he's going to chump, or he's going to go for the kill. Okay, fine. What does he have for 1 mana? I'm like, why is he not letting things go through here? We didn't get any damage through, but we got rid of all those tokens he created. They created. Side Wizard. Interesting name. He's gonna attack again. He goes in. cool. So what you got now? You're gonna boast before, create a 1/1 before he dies. Okay, cool. Anything else? Combat trick? Save your guy? My guy will still kill him. Boom. And he's mono white, so he can't target for the rest of that turn. He could not play a spell that targeted Luminarch. This way I'll have 2 mana left open for a ram through. I like that. And I got some removal coming up then. Now things get nasty. Although I don't know what, he's got a nice big hand there. 5 cards. I've only got 2, so takes the 10 damage though. Still have a ram through, and they're each at 5 power, so we can do 5 damage to something. Okay. We're gonna get another counter next turn. We got an exile effect coming up the turn after that. I think I'll let him, if he wants to attack in and create tokens, I think I'll let him. And I might just attack with one of these guys here. Which would I rather keep, the Luminarch or the Outrider? Oh, that's a tough call with a Vulpikeet in my hand. We can mutate the Vulpikeet onto the Outrider. Give the Outrider flying. The counter from here can go... He's taking a long time to decide whether he wants to attack or not. Oh, it gives me time to figure out what I want to do. So the counter here will maybe go on the Outrider. And same with the Luminarch. Put it all on the Outrider, give the Outrider flying. Or do you want a 6/6 on the ground? Go that way. I have to pay with the Snowlands, even though I don't really care, because that doesn't really do anything now. Or did it? No, he only had 2 counters. Oh no, but he got 1 from this. Right, okay. Let's go here. Swinging with that, and leave the Luminarch as a blocker. Do I want to kill this guy? No, let's let him create his tokens. This exile effect's really powerful, and it's going to hit his Leonin War Leader. If he plays something a little jankier, and we can kill it with a ram through, we'll kill it with a ram through so we can use the enchantment to exile his War Leader. Man, he came at us fast and hard there. Okay. Should I block his War Leader? Let's go this way. Sure. Let's see what happens here. He gains 2 life, up to 5. He still dies to my flying Outrider. And he still loses the Leonin War Leader on my turn, and that just happens for free for us. So if he somehow blows this up, we've got to ram through to get his Leonin. But again, he can't block our 7 flying, he's only got 5 health. So, there we go. So this that triggers here, there goes his War Leader. And then we'll just attack in. Come on, let's go. Unless he has some kind of prevent all damage. Cast a spell, attack and create 3/1/1. Okay. So he hangs on a little longer there by getting some blockers. So he's probably going to chump block each. I won't be able, this is post-combat that I play him. I should have played it pre-combat, but I thought I was going to win, so oops. Yeah, sure, let's go ahead with that. And then we'll play the Aspirant now. Oh, it comes into play with my Boreal, right? It comes in as a 2/2 anyways. I was a little worried because I'm like, it's going to be a 1/1 for a whole turn because it's not going to be able to give a counter anywhere because it only does that on combat, and I play this post-combat, so. Alright, we have a ram through dedicated just for that now because we need our flying damage to get through so he actually dies this time. So yeah, ram through's going to hit the Angel. And hopefully he has nothing else. He knows I have something now because the game keeps waiting for me to click OK. And if he's smart enough, he'll detect that. He'll see that. Not gonna save ya. You got some 1/1s you can attack. Get some flying damage on me. Oh, he still has that one flying guy. Oh, dang, I can't. I have no. Oh, they're humans. These are my only humans in the deck. Insane. Insane. I feel like I so often get that. Like, I'll get Vulpikeets and only have Luminarchs to put them on. I could put it on this guy, but I'd rather have 2 creatures with flying than just the one. Okay. What do I do? I can hard cast this and have another. That's actually not a bad idea. Hard cast this and hold up the ram through. So yeah, let's hard cast this so I get more flying. Pay with that, so he comes in with a counter anyways. We've got 3/4 flyer. Sure. You. And let's just catch you up to everybody else. Attack in with you. Let's just see if we can wither down all his creatures until he's got nothing left. And I still have Vulpikeet to block his Angel. He's nowhere near enough life to make it a... He needs 20 more life to make this a 4/4. A 4/4 flyer. So... my Vulpikeet is pretty good against it for now. Yeah. Gonna gain any life? Not off that. He has no ETB life gain triggers. Okay. Wow, this guy with all the stuff. Really low 1-drop, 1-drop, 2-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop. A lot of 1-drop. Leon and War Leader. Interesting mono white. I haven't seen a mono white like this in quite a while. Okay, so yeah, we'll definitely go for the Hornbeetle. Go like that. Let's attack with... Okay, sure. Let's attack with... Let's give him a pump. I'm going to double pump this guy, catch him up to the Flying Outrider. Attack with both and ram through his Angel. That better be game. He's got 1 mana left, 2 flying. Okay. It seemed a little overkill, but after last time when he should have lost and he snuck in and he kept alive, I was like, well, no, we got to throw everything at you and make sure you die this time. Okay, so not bad, little slow start, but the deck came through eventually. Okay, I don't like how we have these 2 cards with white and only green mana, but hopefully we have something. We have 3 spells that we can play with only green, so hopefully now we have 4. But we still need another mana for this one, so no. We are not playing a 0/0 Wildwood Scourge. 1 green for the green, and then X at 0. He comes in as a 0/0 with no counters. No. This guy's fun. You can get the beetle triggering, then he triggers every time the beetle pumps itself up. It's kind of fun. Here's my white, so that's cool. We'll hold off on playing it just for now. Get the Nessian Hornbeetle out, which is a lovely creature to start with, because they're not super OP or anything. They're not like crazy powerful, but sometimes they can get away. Sometimes you get a creature out there with 4 power or more, and yeah, you get Nessie and just grows and grows and grows, and every turn it keeps growing if your opponent doesn't have removal, right? So Sometimes they can get away with it, but the reason why I like playing them early is, yeah, it's not big a deal if I lose them like that, right? It's like, okay, good on you, bud. Alright, so we got this here. I don't want to throw this down yet. I'd like to get something with power 2 or greater to block, like this. But he'll play a land, so it'll die to that. What do you want to bet he's got the exact... Like, I hate these decks with the Brushfire. Like, it's so rare I play these decks where they don't get the perfect start. Absolute perfect start. Like, every time I play these decks, Brushfire down, he's going to have a Fable Passage. This thing's going to be like a 5/5 that I can't block. Or worse yet, he'll put this 1 green mana equipment that gives +2/+2 on the landfall trigger, just to end a turn. Which is the same as this guy's ability. So it'll double his ability. He'll get +4 for every land. No, he goes Skew Swarm. Okay. It's like if you play that stupid equipment and then make this guy a freaking, what would he be? A 9/9. Yeah. You put the Skyclave on it. 1 mana, it comes into play. I think it's Skyclave Pickaxe or something like that. Comes into play, automatically equips for 1 green mana. Then he plays a Fabled Passage, cracks a Fabled Passage. That's 2 land drops, +4/4 twice, which is 8/8 on his 1/1. He's a 9/9, can't be blocked by 2 or less, which this guy could block, I guess. What do I do now? Do I go with Follow the Impostor? The Skewed Swarm is the highest converted mana cost, so it will actually get exiled first. Let's go with Follow the Impostor, and then we'll stay on the defensive, now that he's a little bit more powerful. And my opponent now has a looming exile effect coming up on one of his creatures, which is why I love this card. It's like, it's a pretty good, in a deck like this with 1/1 counters, because it's those +1/+1 counters. You get to do 1 counter once for 2 turns, which is okay, but a lot of people don't put a lot of value in it. But in a deck like this, where it's just entirely based around, there it is, yeah. He has no land drop. Put 2+1. How do you get 2? Okay, that thing, right? Okay, I see. I'll say hello right back. It's not like I'm taking that long. You see me highlighting your cards. Now I'm going to take a little long. That frustrated me. I did not deserve that hello. Now you're going to wait a little longer. I like how I gave hello back to him. Just like, hello, how are you? Get out of my face. Now what do I play? I can play this. He'll start pumping himself up right away. That's actually not a bad move. And he comes out as a 3/3 anyways because of the Outrider. Still can't hit that. Scourge or Luminarch. And then we attack in with something? No. Oh, I don't know what to play. Here, let's go with a Scourge. And he'll do 2/2 and he'll come in 3/2 before the Outrider. He pumps himself up. He pumps himself. Wow! I did not see that coming. No attacks because he can block with everything and kill my Outrider. But we've got a exile effect coming up on his Skewed Swarm. How many lands does he do? And cards put onto that. 2 of them, 5, so he's getting 5 land drops. He's got a big 9/9 he's probably going to swing in with, and the 7/7. Makes sense. I have to lose my Outrider if I want to kill his Elemental. So let's throw Hornbeetle there, take the 7, and he's going to lose his Skewed Swarm on our turn anyways. A ram through would be nice to take care of that Brushfire. Excuse me? 2 mana? 3 mana. No. Greatest power. I keep thinking it's mana cost. Power. Right. Okay. I see now. Yeah, let's go this guy first. So that's gonna. Oh, I thought he'd get 2. He was not on the battlefield yet. This guy got 2 though. Do we want to make him flying? And then attack in? Let's do it. I hate how they make me pay, like, I don't want that trigger, it doesn't do anything. I want a mutator, so we're going over. He's at the same health we are now. 10 damage, flying, boom. Here you go. Ow. Everybody's a land in addition to their other types. He's now swarming with the scutes. Where's my ram throughs? Does he have reach? He doesn't have reach. Yeah, that would have been gained with this if he didn't have removal. And another one bites the dust. Okay. Hornbeetle into Aspirant into Scourge, depending on what else we get. Looks like a pretty well-rounded starting hand. Hopefully I see a ram through or follow the Impostor. Those guys really make this deck come together. I did not realize it was my turn. I hope I did not make him wait too long. I was waiting for him, I thought. For them. I was waiting for them to go. I was like, Oops. I think there's a sorry button, right? I think that's when they're like, hey, here go, and you're like, oh, shoot. And you were like me, you were literally just an honest mistake. You can say sorry. Sorry, I'm here now, paying attention. Don't see where that is, though. This is just all your special stuff you get during Zendikar and the Mastery. Hello. Finally, we get to our opponent doing something. Oh, I was supposed to go Nessian Hornbeetle first. Oh well, I have 2 Luminarchs, so not a bad one to start off with. He's also got green and blue, so I'm not... Ooh, there's black. That's bad. That means there could be removal. Green has removal too, but you usually need a creature, because this is the green removal. Oh, excuse me. You need a creature of your own to target in order for the removal to work. So, yeah. Nessian Hornbeetle? And then put in a sure. So next turn, I think, I don't know, I should get Luminarch out soon. Actually, I should have probably played Luminarch instead of Hornbeetle, now that I think about it. And I have double Luminarch. This guy would be a 4/4 already. And then I play the Nessian Hornbeetle pre-combat next turn. And then, yeah, things would have been pretty crazy. Give the Nessian Hornbeetle flying. Let's wait a sec here. Let's go Luminarch. Hold up mana for the ram through, so we'll go next. Sure. One of them goes here. Another goes here. Swinging with this guy. Next turn, as long as I keep this Luminarch, this guy will start pumping himself up. Hold up the ram through. If he tries to mutate on the trumpeting Gnar, we'll ram through. We'll use this guy's power to ram through his Gnar. If he plays removal on this Luminarch, we'll do the same thing. Respond with a ram through to killing his trumpeting Gnar. And see how that goes. That's the game plan. So he's going to mutate now, so here's when we do it. Boom. Oh, that's dirty. That's a dirty card for us. Yeah, let's do it. These guys will get 2 +1/+1 counters each. Next. 1 here. Here as well. And he gives it himself as well. We'll leave 1 Luminarch back. Oh no, shit! Oh no, wait, he still can block one. Right, never mind. I was just like, I realized that. I was like, oh no, we could have had lethal, but he still has a blocker. So we didn't have lethal. Because this guy's got summoning sickness. Oh, we should have just attacked with everything, he'd be dead. No, he wouldn't. Next turn, maybe. Depending on what else. Ooh, he might gain some life if he starts mutating now. Maybe get some blockers. Or, ooh, okay, so I don't have any enchantments or artifacts. That's a big trampling boy. But as long as... yeah. You know what? I got flying. True that. He has reach. But this guy's going to be super powerful. So if he blocks, he'll die anyway. Over. This guy gets 2 counters. So yeah, he'll die and he'll survive. These guys. 2 here. 2 here. Any one of these guys gets through this game. He's tapped out for mana. All he has is blockers. Normally I would have liked to put counters on the Conclave, but I need 6 damage going through on one creature, right? Because I can only get 1 around his creatures, so worked out pretty well. Not bad for a budget deck. What is that, 3 in a row? There was one in the beginning I didn't show you. It was just a horrible, I just didn't even play. I just threw the hand away because it was very bad. But yeah, other than that, pretty good. Okay, so what did you think? Like, sometimes the deck does have a slower start, especially against those aggro decks, and then you need to go switch to you need to build up a creature that's powerful, use it as a defender, keep building up your board until you get lots of big creatures, and then you attack with a couple, leave the others defending, and you can slowly kind of turn the game over to your side, as you saw me do in that one game there. There is a game I'm not showing on the video. It was just the very first game. I sat down, I mulliganed, and then kept not realizing that I kept a hand that had none of my 2-drops, and if you look here and you count, we have 12 2-drops. We shouldn't be struggling for 2-drops. Like, we should never be struggling for 2-drops. 12 2-drops in here. But I was struggling for 2-drops. It's like, I don't even think I took my first turn. I just left because I was like, that was a mistake to keep that hand. So that was the first game that I didn't show, and I'm not going to show that. So then there was just 3 straight wins after that. So yeah, pretty good deck. Very budget friendly, very fun. I know it is more of an easier deck to run. It's a very basic concept. Get creatures, make them big, kill opponent. Like, pretty simple. So, but yeah, you do. When you get up against some opponents, there are some things you're going to have to think through, strategize. As you saw with me using my ram through wisely, when my opponent tried to mutate onto his creature, I saved my ram through for that moment. Really screwed over our opponent really bad. So doing timing and thinking about that is also important. But even if not, yeah, just build big creatures and go. It's just the way it goes. So if you like the deck, definitely hit the like on this video if you like the video as well. If you're new to this channel, check out that beginner guide video I have over there, or the playlist actually. It's a whole playlist, tons of videos, all kinds of great stuff if you're new to the channel and new to the arena. Other than that, yeah, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys later. Go make some magic happen.